Personification and zoomorphism. Personification is a really useful tool for writers. It's the attribution of human characteristics to something non-human, or the representation of an abstract quality in human form, such as the wind or a tree, for purposes of imagery. The woods are getting ready to sleep. They are not yet asleep, but they are disrobing and are having all sorts of little bedtime conferences and whisperings and good nights. April is the cruelest month. Those are some examples of personification. In Jekyll and Hyde, Robert Louis Stevenson talks about the city, and he personifies it. Gives this a sort of brooding presence. It's really powerful. Anthropomorphism aims to make an animal or object behave and appear like it's a human being, which is a subtly different emphasis. It's very similar. Personification's opposite, the attribution of inanimate characteristics to a human being, is chromomorphism, although it's not. This word is not in wide usage. Sylvia Plath uses it in Morning Song. Our voices echo, magnifying your arrival. New statue. In a drafty museum, your nakedness shadows our safety. There's something very cold and stone-like about her depiction of humanity there. Zoomorphism describes giving animal attributes to something that's not an animal. So, for example, describing a person as wolfish, giving animalistic characteristics to a human being. That would be a zoomorphic description. Angela Carter does a brilliant one in her novel Shadow Dance of Honey Buzzard. He had a pair of perfectly pointed ears, such as fawns have, and curiously they were also covered with down. His pointed ears poked whimsically through his golden lovelocks, under the shadow of the extraordinary cap, and then, disquieting, strange, at odds with the cherub face, there was the mouth. It was impossible to look at the full rich lines of his dark red mouth without thinking this man eats meat. It was an inexpressibly carnivorous mouth. A mouth that suggested snapping, tearing, biting. A mouth that was always half smiling in a pretty feline curve, and showing in the smile hints of feline tearing teeth. Small, brilliantly white, sharp, like wounding little chips of milk glass. How beautiful he was, and how indefinably sinister.